What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we are going to be bantering about the state of the 2023 Cleveland Guardians. Now, before I get into it, make sure you check out the corresponding article that we have on laracuenteledger.com. The link to that article is in the show notes below. Now, as we look and break down the state of this franchise, we begin with the major acquisitions. Now, for the Cleveland Guardians, there were two players that were acquired that are going to make a significant difference: Josh Bell and Mike Zunino. Both of these players are going to come and bring in with them something that the 2022 version of the Guardians lacked, and that was power. Both Josh Bell, a switch hitter, and a right-handed power bat in Mike Zunino are going to be able to infuse this lineup that I believe was 28th best in terms of home runs hit in 2022. I think that for Cleveland, that necessity for adding more power is really what required these moves to be made. I think that for Cleveland, the 2023 season is going to be a prove me season, and these two players are also falling into that category of having to show up and prove their capabilities. I think that for Cleveland, it is going to be a much more difficult battle than what they had in 2022, and being able to add and infuse a little bit more power into that lineup is only going to serve them in a much greater way. Now, when it comes to the significant injuries, there are two arms in this pitching staff that really have to be paid attention to: Sam Hinges and Cody Morris. I think that when you look at both guys, they're both set and scheduled to be ready for the beginning of the season. I think there's an opportunity for both to be able to go into the 2023 campaign and really prove just how talented they both can be. I think that for Cleveland, it's going to be an opportunity that as spring training comes to its close, they're going to continue to build up that arm strength, build up that ability, continue to develop and renew that repertoire, and go into the 2023 season with a very strong output from both arms. Now, as we look at the top prospect, we discuss another arm in Daniel Espino. A right-handed pitcher is the number one prospect for the Cleveland Guardians. This is an arm that has an absolutely blistering fastball. On the 20 to 80 grading scale for scouts, according to MLB.com, Espino's fastball grades out as an 80. That means this is a premium level fastball that can reach up to 103. I think that for Cleveland, they're going to take their time with this player. They're going to be able to try to continue that development process. Cleveland is a smaller market team, so they're not going to want to start that arbitration clock too early on this player unless they're sure that this is going to be an arm and a team that is going to be capable of contending for a long period of time. I think that there's going to be a lot to really like about this player, and somebody that has to be focused on in this upcoming 2023 season. To me, Daniel Espino is going to be a very key contributor for the Cleveland Guardians for the next decade. Now, as we look at the bold predictions, both Andres Gimenez and Jose Ramirez are both going to go 30 for 30. I think that these two players have the capabilities to not just hit 30 home runs and not just steal 30 bases, but to combine them both. I think that's how dynamic this duo can truly be for the Guardians in 2023. I think that with the increased changes in the shifting rules, with the new batting bases, with the new pickle and pitch timers that we're dealing with in 2023, both of these guys are going to be able to maximize all of their talents and ability and really be able to go off on a tear. I think that for Cleveland, they're going to be needing both of these players to have tremendous seasons to be able to battle and keep off their backs, the White Sox and the Twins, which I think are going to be very much of a different teams in 2023 compared to what they were in 2022. For Cleveland, this is going to be an opportunity to see both of these players truly maximize their talents, and I think that both hit 30 home runs and steal 30 bases. Now, as we look at the divisional rankings prediction, the Guardians come in at number 1. I think that for this team, when you look at the way it breaks down in comparison to the other two teams that are going to be battling with in the White Sox and the Minnesota Twins, there's going to be a lot less in terms of question marks on this team. I think that, yes, there is going to be some regression to the mean. I believe that there has to be, compared to the way that this team really went through the course of the 2022 season. You're also going to have to be banking on health as a big primary reason for their success. Both the White Sox and the Twins dealt with serious injuries in 2022, which was what led them, in my opinion, to fall back as far as they did compared to the Guardians. Cleveland is going to be hoping this season for similar success in the health department, as well as the maturation and growth of some of their young players. I think that overall, this is going to be a team that is going to be able to repeat as the division winner, but it is going to be by a much, much slimmer margin. When we grade out this pitching staff, it comes in at a B+ overall. I think there's a lot to like about the way that the Guardians have been able to develop starting pitching. When you look at guys like Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie, these are two of the best arms in Major League Baseball. Again, their top prospect in Daniel Espino, to me, even though he's dealing with injuries and coming back from that and building back up from that, when he hits the major leagues, this is going to be an absolutely dynamic arm, an impeccable arm for the Cleveland Guardians, and someone that is really going to be able to jump into that rotation and do some serious heavy lifting. I think there's an opportunity for the Guardians to really bank and rely on their pitching staff to help push them forward in 2023, and that's why they get a B+ grade. Now, when it comes to grading out the offense, it is an A overall. Again, two big seasons coming out of both Andres Gimenez and Jose Ramirez, in my opinion. I also think that there's going to be a very big bounce back season from Josh Bell and Mike Zunino. They're also going to add in power, which was something that was missing from this team to begin with. You have arguably one of the best contact hitters in Steven Kwan, and to me, the list goes on and on with this Guardians team and what they're capable of if they're all healthy and firing on all cylinders. I think there's an opportunity for Cleveland to really be able to use the combination of their offense and their pitching staff to really push them towards a postseason picture, and not just the picture, but a hunt, serious contention for a potential World Series team. Yes, it's going to be a difficult battle. Yes, they're going to have to go through some serious competition, not just in their division, but in the league as a whole. But I think that when you look at what this offense is capable of, one of the best and more contact-oriented offenses, which really translates well, you add in that little bit of power that they needed, and this could put them over the top. Now, when it comes to grading out their offseason, it is a B- grade. It is pretty much just a little better than average because both Josh Bell and Mike Zunino, which were the main and only real acquisitions for the Guardians, were absolutely players of need. I think that when you look at the fact that both of these guys are going to come in as power positions and predominantly for their power in the lineup, this is exactly what the Guardians needed. Being able to get themselves into a position where they can have that potential 3-run home run when they need it big is going to be of the utmost importance, and that's what they focused on this offseason. Yes, there was an opportunity and still is an opportunity that they could potentially add more to their depth. I think that there is some weaknesses in terms of that for this Guardians team. But I think that overall, knowing that this is a smaller market team, they have to be very judicious with their finances. This is going to be an opportunity for them to really solidify what they have, and that's why they got a B- overall. Now, when it comes to grading out the franchise as a whole, it is an A overall grade. As I've said, we've seen this team be able to truly develop their talent in such a premium caliber way. The absolute ability to be able to produce top-notch, stellar arms like Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie, the ability to turn out a perennial MVP candidate in Jose Ramirez, to be able to turn out an all-star caliber player in Andres Gimenez, being able to develop these guys, being able to bring on this next batch of players that they're infusing with to be able to add power with those guys like Zunino and Josh Bell. There's an opportunity for this team to really go into 2023, and while they may not surprise people in the same way that they did in 2022, they can surprise people with their ability to dominate. And I think that's what this Guardians team really has an opportunity to do in 2023. So it's going to be a very long battle, an arduous battle for them, but I think a battle that they could ultimately be successful in. But I want to hear from you. Let me know, baseball fans, Guardians fans, how are you feeling about your team's chances in 2023? Where do they end up in the division? What are going to be your concern areas? What are going to be your bright spots, your high spots that you're looking for from this team in 2023? Let me know all these things down in the comment section below, or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, and we can keep that conversation rolling. If you want to find us more on our social media outlets, you can head over to Instagram and TikTok at Baseball Banter Broadcast. You can follow our website, laracuenteledger.com, that has the corresponding article up on the state of these 2023 Cleveland Guardians, as well as many other topics and very, very many articles about the world of Major League Baseball on a daily basis. So if you want to show more support beyond that, you can head over to our merchandise shop, baseballbanterbroadcast.com, in which we have a ton of merchandise on the site and a ton of promo codes you can use to save on repping the Baseball Banter Broadcast. Now, if you haven't and you're enjoying what you're seeing here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below on this YouTube channel, as well as the bell for post notifications, as most of our audience is not yet subscribed to the channel. So we are looking to continue building this baseball family, this baseball community, and by subscribing to this channel, you help us continue to do so. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast listening platform, then I ask you to do the same thing, but as well as leaving a 5-star rating and review. This is how we continue to grow this baseball community, and it's something that is important to us as we continue down the path of this 2023 season. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next broadcast when we banter about baseball. Peace.